Hello, I am HQ of HQ Reacts. If you have made it this far and you're not subscribed, please hit the like button and subscribe and share. If you find me on other social media platforms, please follow me. And you might find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Y'all come on in. Come on in. This is Thursday. Thursday is the ladies' night. What's going on, ladies? What's going on for the ladies in the house? My goodness. We want the ladies to come up, have a conversation, ask the questions to the ladies. Maybe we can get some serious answers. We ain't got to live up here. We just want to hear a couple things. Hear a couple things about what we doing in the relationship realm. What are women doing in the relationship realm? What about this baggage? What about this baggage we women have? Do we really have baggage? Can we put it away and be male family orientated? What's this thing I hear about women not wanting to be wise? Or women not knowing how to be wise? Because I say, if you really want to be a wife, or you want to really be in a relationship, you'd be doing things. Husband, you want to be a husband too? You'd be doing things to make yourself or put yourself in the headspace of being a wife, or put yourself in the headspace of being a husband. That's what I say. You all hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. Thank you. Come on in. Please come on in and hit the like button. And there's Cash App, Super Chats, all that good stuff. We don't work for free. Come on, guys. Come on. We know what we do here. So I put the link out for the ladies because we have several questions. We'd like the ladies to answer. We don't want to put you on the hot seat, but we just want to answer a question or two. And you could be the first one. That don't mean I'm gonna burn you up. I'm just gonna ask you a question or two and see if you can articulate exactly what some of the men are questioning about. Okay, we have this question, and I'll put it out here in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat. How many men, how many bodies is too many bodies for a female to have? She's 30. She's 30 years old. How many bodies is too many bodies for a woman? Okay. That's a question. We'd love to hear from ladies because we always hear the men say, she gonna be dating, she gonna be doing this and that, she gonna be out there dating and doing these kind of things. I want to know how many bodies is too many bodies. So if you are 30 years old, you should only have 5 bodies. So let's think about that for a minute. 5 bodies. I don't know whether that's too many or not. I'm asking the chat because we hear Well, women out here doing what they want to do. Well, let's get this out of the way. Let's get this one thing out of the way. Women are going to be doing what women do, and men are going to be doing what men do. So for her to be, and this is what I can't get, this is the one thing I can't get past. What if she never gets married? What if she never meets her soulmate? What if no man ever wants to really marry her? She's a virgin, she's a virgin, she's a virgin, she stays a virgin. What if she never meets a man to marry her? What if a man never comes to her and wants to marry her? What does she do? Does she stay a virgin her whole life? What if he never wants to marry her? I'm just asking these questions because this is a question that, or this is an issue that men say they have. Well, women be out here dating, they be doing all this, that, and the third. What if she's a virgin and nobody wants to marry her? Does she stay a virgin all of her life? When does that become obsolete? When do you give up on finding a husband? A lot of black women on this planet are single. Women, black or white, are single, right? And don't have any kids. So when is it that she gives up on being married if nobody wants to marry her? Because we have to look at the reality here. The reality is she may not be able to get married. Somebody may not want to marry her, no matter how good she is. When does she give up on marriage? If she's 30 and she's a virgin and nobody wants to marry her. This is my question for the women. And see, this is why I say that flies in the face of women sitting on the sidelines and not getting married or not having sex. You want her not to have sex. But what if nobody wants to marry her? What if she's slightly ugly and nobody wants to marry her? Does she continue to stay a virgin? I'm going to be a virgin until I'm 30. I'm going to be a virgin until I'm 40. I'm going to be a virgin until I'm 45. When does she give up on being a virgin? And then this is the question. Why does it then make her a hoe if she's not a virgin? Yes, that's unrealistic in this day and age. I get it. Right. No kids, ideally, that would be the best case scenario. Yes. 2, 3 bodies, and women slightly over. So my whole thing is this. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? So that makes, we have to dispel that. We have to get rid of that. People say, well, we don't know. You will never know. Just like you would never sit down. You would never sit down and expect to explain how many bodies that you have. So when people say, when we have this conversation about bodies, I say you never know how many bodies she's going to have if she's not a virgin. The only issue is not to get pregnant. Nobody wants, according to men, to take care of other men's children. I get that too. I get that too. But the minute she has a boyfriend or she breaks up with a boyfriend, we had this big discussion on Monday about when potential women on Monday. If she's single, she ain't been in a relationship since she was 21 and she's 30. So potentially she could have 1, 2, 3. She could have 18. She could have 8 boyfriends potentially. You see how that will take you around the block, around the block, around the block? Uh-oh. You know this is ladies' night. So what you saying, Triple X?
Oh, this is ladies' night? My bad.
Yeah. No. Tell me what you had to say. Gihanna jumped his ass up here one time.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah, I didn't know it was ladies' night. My bad. Yeah, I just seen the link and hit the link. No, yeah. I'll make it quick then because I want y'all to cook. I was just going to say, I'm not sure where the confusion is coming in with regards to the bodies.
Right.
Like, Poppy Blanco was kind of breaking it down last time he was up here. Like, the thing is like, if you're in a relationship, I mean, that is fair game. Guys wasn't really criticizing women for being in a relationship and doing what they was doing, whatever. But I think when you're not in a relationship and you're just hustling a lot of guys and you got a roster and, you know, you're meeting 3 and 4 and 5 new guys a year, and you sleeping with a lot of those guys every year. Maybe. I mean, you're getting into that territory quickly of being that 304.
So what is she supposed to do? A
woman should be in a relationship with a guy. That's what she should do.
If a woman is not in the relationship. Yeah. Last time I really had a relationship was in 2020.
Yeah, you was married, right? Yeah.
No, not me. I'm talking.
Okay.
If a woman said that. Yeah. The last time I was in a relationship was 2020.
Yeah. I would say you haven't been in a relationship for 5 years. Right. So I will have some very specific questions about that because that's quite a long time. You know? And I would also ask that woman.
Not saying, and I say this is role play. This is role play.
We're role playing. We're role playing, and I ain't judged yet. I'm just asking some questions.
Okay.
She hasn't been in a relationship. I would ask her about, okay, Kayanka, you haven't been in a relationship in quite a while. I find that very interesting. So I'm a bit curious about that. Is that a personal choice, or like, what's your position on that?
I haven't really had anyone to offer to be in a relationship with me. I have been looking for a relationship.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to.
I'm done. I'm done.
Looking, and what is it? Might I ask, what exactly are you looking for from a relationship?
Well,
what are your expectations?
I'm looking for a husband potential. Okay. I'm looking for, I'm not always the ultimate person for personality or figuring out personality. I like to see where they go. Sometimes those relationships may last a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Some may last couple of months.
Yeah.
It just depends. Yeah. And then I see the red flags, and then I quickly cut that off once I see the red flags.
I got you. Now, this is how I will go about that. I will probably ask another series of questions, but instead of dragging that out because we're role playing and, I'm on the show and stuff.
Go ahead.
I would simply eventually get to the point and I would have some interaction. I would ask a little bit more about the background of these guys she did date. Her level of attraction, and I would dig deep into those things, because what that would likely signal to me, because 5 years is a long time. We ain't talking about her coming out of a marriage or her husband died. That's different, because if that happens, it's gonna have a different effect on her.
Let's
But we
play.
talking about a clean slate, right?
Let's play it out. Play it out. Keep
Okay.
going.
Yeah. If it's a clean slate, what that would basically tell me is this chick has pretty high expectations in regards to what she's looking for money wise and or looks. And both of those are going to be likely very difficult to nail down, especially both, you know.
Okay,
And
so what would you ask me? What would you ask me? What do
yeah,
you really, what does a man really, if you're looking at me, what does he
yes.
really want to know? What is he asking me?
If he's really looking at you, I
Yes.
mean, he would, in addition to those series of questions, I mean, I would ask a little bit more about your past relationship. How long ago was that? You said 5 years ago.
5 years,
I would
yeah.
ask a little bit more about your attraction to this guy. What was this guy into? What did he do? You know, I want to know about that. And is that are you looking for a similar type of dude, or I would dive deeper into that, but it's a way those things have to be asked. You can't just
I'm
bang,
asking
bang,
you,
bang it
right?
out.
That's why I'm asking
Yeah.
you. I'm asking you to ask me and pretend like you're dating me or you want to
Okay.
date me. Ask
Oh,
me
so we
how you
doing it.
want
I
to ask
got
me.
you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Right.
Yeah, my thing is I would like to know this. So tell me a little bit more about this last guy that you were seeing in a serious manner.
Well, the last guy that I was seeing,
Yeah.
he was single.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that he was single.
Okay.
And I would see him like every other day.
Yeah.
See him every other day, and I had met him online, no, and the dating apps. Maybe met him on the dating apps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And we had been talking for about a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
And at that particular point, we actually really started dating once we had met after that month or two. We had Skyped and did all of that stuff.
Right.
So we started dating at that point.
Okay. I got you. And then is that where it pretty much went left, where you found out this was the ladies' man?
Yeah, and no, it took about, once we started dating, and I thought it could have been exclusive. I thought that.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, something hit me or something came about that made me question whether it was just me.
Okay.
That he was saying.
Right.
And once I figured out that he wasn't the only person I was saying, that's when I started to become very wary of the relationship, wary of seeing him. I still liked him.
Okay.
But I had to gauge where I fit into that group of women that you were saying. Mm-hmm. Was I the leading candidate in this group of women you were saying, or was I just a part of the group and you were just having fun? So I had to ascertain whether I was a part of that group or not.
Right. I got you. So I'm a bit curious here. I like to find out a few things. So tell me, what is it about this gentleman that caught your initial attraction?
Well, he was taller than me. He was a nurse.
Okay.
And he was personal. He was a personal person.
Okay.
Personal.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't a nug. He was very. We had conversations.
Right.
We had conversations.
Okay. And is this generally the type of gentleman you go for?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now we're gonna press pause on this interaction right here. So I'm gonna give you the male feedback. Okay. This is what I've deducted already. Detective Lex have already deducted this from the conversation.
Right.
This is a tall, handsome guy. I've deduced this. She's already owned the fact that he's a ladies' man.
Yes.
She's owned his height. I already know the looks is land like that. I don't need to dive deeper or whatever into it. She had interest in the guy. This guy's King 6'8" the Great, just like the YouTuber. Right. So I get it. So, right, cue the old one deduce. I've already deduced from this. Right. So what I gather from that is, and this is just my knowledge, and I'm not gonna say it to her, but in this situation, it doesn't necessarily mean she's shooting above her level, because we ain't really deducing how attractive she is. She could be a really hot chick, you know.
Right.
But even if she is an 8, if this guy is an 8.5 and he's tall and ripped and he's got money and a little bit of notoriety around the city, her just being an 8 ain't enough to lock this guy down. You know, he's got a lot of options. You know, I had a guy I'm cool with. He said he'd rather have 10 7s than 1 9. You know, so yeah, so hey, and I'm like, a 9 is a super bad girl. He's like, yeah, and I'll take them 10 7s. But that's the type of time he on, you know. So I don't want to say a chick like this should have to lower her standard, so to say, but she may have to pull down the attraction and or the financial to be, if she's serious about wanting to find a lifetime mate.
Yeah, wait. We're not doing that direction. The direction we're going as though you're vetting her, not her on a date. You're vetting her for you. Right. But you keep saying she needs to lower her standard. No, you're talking to me as though you want to date me. You're asking me.
I see what you're saying. I like the girl. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get at the girl or whatever. Right. Okay.
No, the thoughts that you're saying are not thought for you. You're making an assessment of a relationship. Right. I'm saying you're interested in me.
Yeah.
This is the question that you asked me, and I answered to you honestly.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. I get the perspective now. I didn't fully understand, but I get it now. Okay. So in addition to asking that, you know, I would dive a little bit deeper. One of the main questions I always ask, especially after I done broke the ice and we done hung out a couple of times,
right?
If she's mixed girl and she's like half or tri or something, I always ask, do she consider herself a black woman? You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, of course, I would not ask you that because I mean you are. I don't think you're mixed. But if she is, I always ask that. You know, not off the jump, but eventually I always ask that question.
So why are you asking that question?
Why would a man do that? Because I want to see where her mindset is. If it is a mixed girl, because I run into a lot of mixed girls, you know, and I want to know where exactly her mindset is on that. You know, does she really consider herself a black woman, or does she see herself more as just an unambiguous mixed girl? You know, and if she do, her viewpoints and positions on black issues are going to be skewed, you know.
Right. If she sees herself as a mixed woman as opposed to a black woman.
Yeah. That would be a level of concern for me. Now, would I flip over the table and be like, aha, or something like that? No, I'm not jumping out of the window. But her saying that would bring a level of concern. You know, I would have to. She said that I would have to dig a little bit deeper into that, not like right away, but it would be further questioning I would have to ask to find out what's going on with that. Because if that's a chick I'm trying to take serious, I really need to know where her head is. You know, because I've dated chicks that's been mixed, and they was like they didn't consider themselves black at all. You know,
that's why.
Yeah, I know. So yeah.
Hold on. I don't even know what the hell. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you. How you would be vetting a woman?
Right.
See, this is the thing with women too. I'm telling you how I would vet. I'm telling you how I would vet, or I look at men.
I got you.
Look at men.
Yeah.
So and now ask me if I'm on a date with you.
Right.
What I would say if I'm on a date with you. What would be my first? What would I think of for as a woman? And this is the question I want to ask women, because I wanted women to come up so I could ask them this question.
Okay.
Right? Are we going to get a woman up here?
Okay.
This is what I would tell. This is how I would ask women. How do you, what is your initial thing? What keeps you coming around a man? Or
okay,
you just met him, what would make you accept a date from him? What does he initially do that makes you want to accept a date from him? Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, because a lot of women is, of course, you have to be decent looking.
Yeah.
But what else makes you decide that you're going to accept a date from this? Well, I guess the first initial date, when a person gets involved with a person, would be the attraction.
Yeah,
that would be the initial thing.
First and foremost.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be the first thing the person looks at. Okay,
yeah.
I'm attracted to this person, because you don't know their background. You don't know how many bodies they got. You don't know what they do, unless you're talking right there. Oh, okay, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. But usually you may have a little interaction with them when you first meet them.
Right.
I know what they do. I know what they do. I know how they talk. I know they can walk. I know they got a job. I know all of these things, right?
Yeah.
So what else is once you go on that first date, what does a woman look for?
Okay.
Once she's on that date. Okay. What do you look for once you're on that first date from a man?
Oh,
and do you naturally look for somebody that you can marry, or do you look for somebody that you can
for a fun time?
For a fun time.
Yeah,
how do you know? Do you make the decision?
Way to say it. Right. Yeah.
Do you make that decision on the first night? And do you act accordingly? Do you act accordingly on that first night? Because I know a lot of women get involved with men and then they just open themselves up wide. Like you don't.
No, I know what you mean.
You don't protect yourself.
Yeah.
You out there having sex and ain't got no condom on, ain't got no protection, ain't. Women open themselves wide. Why? How do you reconcile that opening yourself up wide?
Yeah. Those are excellent questions. I love to hear their answers. My thoughts, I'll just say this. From my observation, and the ladies' opinion on this is worth way more than mine, for the record, because you're asking the ladies. Yeah. Right. But I think it just comes down to the level of attraction with the guy. That's why they make rules for some and they break rules for others.
I mean, that's how it is. But see, I've heard that too. But men do the same thing.
Oh yeah. A lot of men will.
Right. Yeah. You do the same, and men do the same. That we all have the same behavior. It's just a male or a female. Because I've heard men say, "Oh, you'll let a pretty man hit," as opposed to you have rules for the ugly guys. You don't have rules for the good looking guy. It's the same with men. Men have rules for the ugly women. Well, I ain't gonna date her. I ain't gonna date her. But if she fine as hell, I'll take her. And she got one kid. If she fine as hell, I'd pull up with her foolishness.
Yeah, I've had guys say, if she is that brother's look max, like exactly what he's looking for looks, he would take the kid on. That's what he said. No,
exactly.
Right. And he's anti-kid, of taking care of a woman's kids.
So the one thing we cannot say is women don't act any differently than how men act. Men act the same way.
I say this though. The misconception though is this though. Right. Is in most cases when I've heard women talk, a lot of them actually downplay looks. That's what I actually like about this platform here, and you in particular, because as a woman, you never downplay looks, and you'll instantly be like, "Hell no, I'm not going."
I ain't gonna.
You won't be like, "Oh, he looks like a smart guy. He's a cool guy. I'm sure he can get. You be like, hell no. So
because
that's good because that's
you
how
gotta be attracted.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say, how they say it.
Yeah.
She can be the best mother. She can be the best female, submissive, all of that stuff. If I ain't attracted to her, if I ain't attracted to him, I don't care whether he got $1 million or not. He got $2 million. Not if I ain't attracted, I'm not going.
Right.
I just ain't going. And I'm not saying he has to be attractive. He just has to be attractive to me. And he can, and like I said, a lot of women think Tyrese is attractive. I think he's the ugliest thing ever, right?
Right.
So it just depends on what you
Black
find attractive. Right. It just depends on what you find attractive.
Right.
You got to, and men are the same way. If she looked decent, I might take that one kid on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think this though. I say this. You hitting on some truths, HQ, but it's not asymmetrical either though.
Right. It's not all men. Yeah, I get that.
No, I'm not just saying all that. I'm just saying like men got more of a range though of what they'll deal with. You know, it gotta be an extreme for a guy to just be like, I'm not messing with that. Especially if it come to him and he have to put in grind to get it. It has to be an extreme for him not to mess with it.
Okay.
Right. But on the flip, it could be a decent guy that could come to HQ, but if you don't like the looks, you're like, no, bro.
I can't, like, there's a guy, I cannot, it's a white dude. I cannot for the life of me figure out what the fuck his name is. I cannot. And he is by standard ugly.
Dang.
It is something about that white dude. And I'd be like, damn. And I ain't really into white dudes like that. But that dude, he's an actor. I can't figure out his name for shit.
Okay.
If I figure out what movie he was in, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's him. But I'm saying the attraction is not necessarily the look. It's more of how that person makes you feel about yourself. And that's the key. It's normally never how that person makes you feel. It's how that person makes you feel about yourself. And I don't even have an attraction like that for white men. Some white men, yes, because they're men. Your men, Hispanic men, black men, white men, you know, we all have a range of what looks good and what doesn't, right?
Yeah.
To us. And this person, out of all the white dudes that I ran across on the screen that I've seen, he's not handsome at all. Well,
but some guys got charisma though. You know, they got charisma. They got a way about themselves.
He was in some movie. He was in some movie where he had
a
special kid. I don't know.
You're mentioning this guy, but he's an actor, so he has a level of status too. So
yeah, but he's not a handsome. He's not a handsome white guy. Not at all.
I get it.
Well, he had some kid. I recall him having some kid in a hotel, and it was his kid, and his kid was like special.
Yeah.
Like his kid could save the world or something weird like that. And I can't remember for the life of me. I only know him if I see him, and I only know him if I hear his name.
Hey, Q the old one is acting up in the chat, man. He said Rodney Dangerfield.
So where did my ladies go? Where did my ladies go for ladies' night? For goodness, ladies' night, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
The ladies said they were gonna be up here. They ain't came up. I was like, ladies, come on.
Yeah, they got to pull up. But no, I was gonna say this. You know,
I ain't got no lights. Ain't nobody gave me no lights, no nothing. What the hell?
Yeah.
Are y'all serious? Are we gonna defunct the ladies' night? I ain't even got one like. I see 28 damn people in here. What is going on?
Yeah,
but I can't really tell. I can only tell from a certain angle.
Yeah.
You know. You get in here and you didn't click a like button, hit the like button at all? Come on, what is going on? I can't tell. I can't really tell nothing. I can't really tell nothing. But come on, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold up. Maybe 20. That's still 29 people. But the whole part, well, you said a role play. Come on, ladies, pull up. Otherwise, we're going to have the men. Otherwise, I'm going to have to ask these men these questions. I'm going to let the men up, and then the men can ask these questions. Answer these questions. You know, as a matter of fact, the ladies, look, ladies, y'all going to make the ladies night going to be defunct. Because this is the second night I didn't get. I need some guys to come up because I'm finna ask the guys these questions. Ladies, I gave y'all opportunity to come up. We could have came up. You could have had a discussion. I need more than Lex because Lex is the only one that is answering the questions. But I'm sure that you guys could do that. Answer these questions. But I have these questions. These are men. These are questions that men can answer too because I'm curious about that. Pull up some gentlemen. This is a ladies' night still, but pull up some gentlemen. So this is the question. I think I asked the question, how many bodies is too many bodies? Right?
Uh-oh.
How many bodies is too many bodies? So she's 21. She hasn't had a relationship since she was 21.
How old is she now?
She's 30.
She haven't had a relationship in 9 years?
Yeah, relationship, yes.
Wow, that's a long time, but go ahead.
She hasn't had, okay, what's wrong with not having a relationship?
If I meet a girl and she's
not
30,
everybody needs to have a relationship though.
I
understand.
I get it, Kayaka. I get it.
Okay.
I say this respectfully.
Okay.
If I meet a woman, attractive woman, whatever, and she's 30
right.
and she hasn't been in a relationship since 21,
mm-hmm.
I would have some serious questions to pose to her. Because what that strikes me as
what
is that, of course, I will have to talk with her first. You know, I don't know if this is a religious thing.
No, hold on. Back up. You worried about how many lovers I had? I had 7.
I ain't. Wait, hold on.
I'm telling you, I had 7.
I had 7. Wow. That's interesting. So 7 bodies. Okay, 7 bodies in what's that? 9 years? 7 bodies in 9 years. But you wasn't in a relationship with none of these guys?
Nope. I tried to have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
They kept not wanting a relationship. We started to talk, ended up talking. You know, I also have a 2-month rule. I don't have sex with people unless 2 months go by and I try to get to know the person, maybe, and then, something happened, but it was 7.
All right. This is my thing. I'm going to just give you this before I answer that. Normally, if a chick just out of the blue told me, like, I've only slept with 7 guys in that time, I would be very tough to believe that.
Well, not
I would
7,
think maybe
7.
she's done
2-month rule, and
maybe she's done a lot more.
That's it. But see, we're going by what she told me. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't go by what you think she said. You have to go by what she said. Because otherwise you could think she had 100. I could have you don't know.
She could.
So I'm telling you up front, okay, 7.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. I would want to know if she's openly come out and said that, I would want to know what was the duration of the interaction with these guys. Was these one night stands or guys you was kicking it with for several months and it just never went into a relationship? Or what exactly was going on?
Some of them
7
were.
guys over an almost 10-year period.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm realistic. You know, that's not necessarily the end of the world, but I'm thinking if the woman has had a level of interaction with these guys when she's dated these guys for several months and stuff, and they just didn't have like an official conversation that it was a relationship or something. See, that's different. I have to dig deeper and find these things out.
So with the relation, and I'm giving you the scenario,
Right.
and I'm being transparent. If I'm transparent, if a woman is transparent, or if she wants to be transparent, okay, fine. You know, the whole point was the whole point was I attempted these relationships. We attempted these relationships.
Okay. All right, you attempted them? No.
No, we attempted to have a relationship.
Yeah.
We got involved with each other.
Right.
Some of them lasted 8 months, maybe 7 months.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a one night stand here or there. Just one night stand. I think maybe I had one night stand.
Okay.
And the other ones I couldn't. We just never got involved long enough.
Oh, I would have some serious questions for that. Now,
what would you have serious questions about?
I would, because
a 10-year span.
Well, for me, for a woman to not have been in anything serious in that amount of time, that's a really long time. You know, 2 or 3 years, I could see that, but like almost 10 years, that's a pretty long time. So I would have serious questions. I could definitely deep dive that.
Give me a question. I'm saying, what question would you need to ask me? I'm being transparent with you.
Yeah.
I've had 10 years. I've been out of a relationship. I've had 7 lovers.
Okay.
7.
Okay. Now, all right.
What question would you need to ask me?
I got you. My first question would be, which one of these was the longest duration, and how long was it?
Which one? What do you mean, which one?
No, the last one that you guys had interaction with, and you say you were intimate with 7 guys. The last guy you was intimate with, how long did you guys date?
Probably about 7 months.
Okay. Now, what that would tell me,
but I got a 2-month rule. I don't have sex before 2 months.
And that's a rule you always stick to?
Always.
See, I'm gonna say this. Like, it's of course more stuff I would ask. In a situation like that, I have been in relationships myself that only last 6 months. You know? So this can be a slippery slope. This isn't a whole lot of bodies for 10 years, basically, because we ain't talking about 2 years or something. We're talking about 10. On the flip side, what you just described for that one sounds good. I would definitely have to ask about a couple more. You know, if the other 2, but it's a way I would have to go about it. I wouldn't just ask it back to back to back. If
wait a minute, hold on. Is it that men are concerned about how I interacted with these men?
Yeah. Of course. Men have concern in men.
Wait a minute, how do you have concern?
Hold on, HQ.
I'm asking.
I'm going to tell you. Just like if a woman showed up in a porno, she could be beautiful. She's disqualified for anything serious. That's just how it goes. Now, it's not fair, but that's how most men are going to be. You know? So, a woman's sexual history matters to a man. For a serious relationship, it matters.
So 7 bodies don't disqualify her when she goes between a relationship 21 and 30. That don't disqualify her?
Well, I would say this. If a woman dated, I'm gonna just say this. If I knew for a fact a woman was with 7 guys over a 10-year period, that's less than 1 guy a year, right? If she's been in drawn out scenarios with, say, 4 of those guys, and then maybe the other ones just kind of hung around for a little bit, 2 or 3 months, you know, and then they fell out or something.
Right.
I don't necessarily think this might be the end of the world, but I would still have to dig deeper before I could give that approval, because it's not an absolute. See, what you think is I'll just be like, oh, you know, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. But actually, I don't. and I have to really get my investigation cap on. I mean, from what you're describing, you know, like if all of them follow that, I mean, of course that wouldn't be the end of the world, but a woman's sexual history very much matters to a man.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very picky about that.
Okay.
That's why I'm gonna say this, HQ. That's why a lot of guys can have the reputation they have, and it's not really viewed that way. Like if you look at like JFK, look at his reputation. He was known as a playboy.
I get
but he still revered as possibly maybe the greatest American in the last 100 years.
I mean, I get it. I get there's a double standard.
These was ladies' men.
I get there's a double standard. I get
it. It's an extreme double standard. So they look, if the guy is really attractive, he has that personality, the woman will expect him to have had a pretty lengthy past. Hey, I'm gonna give you an example, and you should probably pull this up. You don't have to do it now, but it's a guy called King 68 the Great. He was doing a date with this girl. This girl, tongue was basically rolling around on the floor because she was so attracted to him. He was playing around, and he told her like, "Hey, I got eight kids. I got like 4 baby mamas," and she was like, "Oh, for real?" She was like, "Yeah, you should, because you're a real fine specimen of a man." And that's what her response was to that.
That wouldn't be my response.
I'm just saying.
Well, we got Erica's.
Go ahead, Erica.
We got Erica's Corner up here.
Hey, HQ. Hey, Lex.
What's going on with it?
Thank you, Triple X. We going down. Hopefully, we get some women up here.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate you. Take care. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hi. I wanted to come support. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good. I wanted more, but it's okay. The ladies come up one at a time. That's fine.
I got you.
How are you?
I'm fine. I actually wanted to answer your question first about, 2 questions.
Okay.
One was about the actor. I was going to ask, are you thinking about Colin Farrell?
Oh, no. This man is actually not attractive. People wouldn't think he was attractive at all. I don't know his name. I have to really seriously, because I don't know his name. So, and I don't know what movie he has been in. So, I mean, if I saw I've seen movies with him in it. I just don't know his name. And it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't figure out. And he's an older man. He's older than me. So he's an older white man. So I don't know his name.
Okay.
But he does something to me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Some men just do, you look at him, you be like, damn.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Damn. Right. So he does that, even though he don't have no looks whatsoever. And women would look at him and say, oh, he white. He ain't even attractive. I'd be like, damn. Right. And I cannot figure out who he is. I don't know who he is. But he's there. Okay. I'm going to figure him out. What's your second question?
Yes, you were asking about what do each of us look for in that first date, right?
Yes, in that first date. Yes.
Qualities go. I would say even before attractiveness would be confidence.
Right.
That's the initial gravitational pull that I experienced. Someone who's confident in themselves, that, they're competent in whatever, profession that they work in, right. And someone that actually does what they say they're going to do. So like, for example, if he says, okay, we're going to meet at this place at this time, dress this way, and he means it, that's attractive, even before the actual physical attraction's there. That's just my opinion. So that's what I look for first, is the actual confidence factor.
So have you ever been initially attracted and then went on a date, then found out that, oh no, can't do it, ain't gonna be able to do it? Have you ever been in that situation?
Yeah, I have. And unfortunately, it is what it is, right? The initial attraction is great, but if I can see that's not going to sustain me, because the confidence isn't there, or
have you been in that situation before? And did you analyze that relationship and say, why was I looking at looks first, or what did you say to yourself that made you say maybe I need to do something different? Was that in your mind? When you ran into a person, they were attractive, and then you went on a date, and then you were like, the personality don't even match with the look. And what did you say to yourself after that?
I said to myself, can I sit there and text this person, every day, want to talk to them on the phone, want to continue the, a second date or a third date if, the looks are there, but I'm sleeping whenever you're talking to me.
Have you ever ghosted anybody? And why have you ghosted anybody? Why have you ghosted?
I've ghosted because whenever I say no and they don't take me serious, what else is there to do, unfortunately, right? If I say I'm not interested, or, I'm deciding to focus on something else that may be more pertinent at the time, and they think that, well, she ain't gonna curb me. Okay, I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta just give them the. Here's the first real question. What do men mean when they say women don't take accountability? What do you think they mean?
I think what they mean is they think we, I guess, don't have a mirror, right? A introspective quality of ourselves to really see, okay, where am I going wrong? And unfortunately, it's uncomfortable because our feelings get in the way of it. So instead of just sitting down and dealing with our, we'd rather just, deflect it off of, it's the men, because it's an uncomfortable feeling. And we don't like to explore logically where we're coming short.
Okay. Would you say men think we don't take accountability? Do you think that's true? And to what extent? Is it to an extent that is detrimental in a relationship that we don't take accountability, or do you think it's personal that we need to look into ourselves first? Accountability. You understand what I'm saying? Is it detrimental yet?
I would say it is. Because you got to understand, HQ, there's going to be some man that's going to be out there that's going to simp, right? And say, oh, ain't nothing wrong with her. She's got 3 kids by 3 different guys, but she fine though, no accountability as far as, keeping yourself to one man, preferably. When you always have simps in one ear, unfortunately, it's not going to promote us to do. We have to really be alone, probably, if up in age, 40s, 50s, and men ain't checking for us like they used to anymore.
Right.
Unfortunately, by that point, it's a little too late.
Right. That's true. I'm gonna ask you, how many bodies is too many?
Over 10. I would say personally 10 and up.
Up to what age?
I'll say 30. So
more than 10 is too many.
More than 10 is getting into, I'm not going to say a hoe, but are you being intentional with the partners that you're selecting? Or you just really got an itch?
So we had a hard time getting Triple X to say, what the hell? So I deliberately said 21 to 30. And I told him the scenario where I said 7, right? 7. Okay. Not too sketchy, not too, because you got to understand, my dialogue was, IQ. My dialogue was, what do I do with myself? Okay, men want women to keep their legs closed. Let's just say that. Before they get married, until they get married. That's not logical today. So since that's not logical today, and more than likely she won't get married because our Black women are only married at 25%. What is she supposed to do if 9 times out of 10 she won't be married? Why is it that I have to stay a virgin waiting on somebody who may never come?
I don't think it's reasonable to ask someone to stay a virgin if the life trajectory is going to be you're never going to be with someone, long term as far as marriage goes. Because then it's like you're asking them not to be a human being and want connection with someone, right? Mm-hmm. Granted, it's not going to be sustained, but they're asking, in my opinion, for her to be a nun.
See, I look at it this way. Our women only get married at a 25% class, right? Isn't that the number, like 25% or something? We Black women get married. It's something like that. Mm-hmm. So that means 75% of us got to be sitting on the shelf being virgins when we may or may not ever get a husband. He may or may not ever want to marry us. So we have the potential to have I'd say more than 5 bodies. If we hit a certain range, we have the potential, because 9 times out of 10 we ain't gonna get married. So it's not feasible for us to sit there, no one, not even a man, to sit there and not live our life because we may get a man to marry us. You understand what I'm saying? Well, you get what I'm saying. I mean, yes. How was that?
But I'm going to interject some accountability in this relation to HQ, because the 1 in 4 rate that we have, we can control that to a certain extent as far as our shape, staying in a good, healthy weight, being healthy, our attitude, what our priorities are, getting the bag versus, getting a husband. So some of those factors can be changed where it doesn't have to be 1 in 4.
Yeah, but we even if we change those things, even if we change those things and the number went up a little bit higher, what happens? I would even give you 50%. We go from 25% and we do these things, we become feminine and all of that. We do these things. I'll give you up to 50%. What does the other 50% do? Do we sit at home and be nuns, and then we never get married? We just don't do nothing. We waiting on somebody that may never come. What do we do?
I chalk that up to survival of the fittest in a sense. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's going to win. No one's guaranteed a W at the end of the day. All you can do is try your best, right?
Mm-hmm. And see, I look at it like that. Not all of us are going to be married. Right. It just is a fact. So you asking me to be celibate, not be out there dating, that's unreasonable to me, because you never know whether some, like for example, I've been single for 5 years. I've been a widow for 5. Mm-hmm. Why does it make sense for me to sit on a shelf for 5 years and not date anyone or not have sex with anyone because I'm waiting on somebody to make me their wife? You understand what I'm saying? I would be sitting on the shelf for 5 years, although I probably have been sitting on the shelf for 5 years right now, because that's a choice of mine. I'm saying if I'm 25 and I'm not on the select scale of women, I'm just a maybe below average woman or whatever, if we're looking at it like that way. Okay. What do you expect me to do? And ain't no man gonna come and marry me. He ain't gonna come and marry me. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to not have sexual relationships? Am I supposed to not go out and date?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So how you doing there, young sis? HQ. Yeah. So I have a comment, and it's probably not the most acceptable one, but the problem being with the viewpoint of quote unquote stand on the shelf is that, so the alternative is to go out there and have relations because you can't secure a husband. So
no, it's not a matter of can't. It's a matter of we don't know if we ever will. You can't. Nobody is promised tomorrow. That's my whole point. Nobody.
Okay, well, we can take it that way too. I would argue that a person who believes that would then be engaging in sex with people just because on the off chance that they may not get somebody because it's not promised. So do we then go out there and engage in? Do women then go out there and engage in sex? And typically they're going to be going after men who are in relationships. And I don't know men who aren't founded in a principle who are going to be turning down women who freely give themselves to them because the women are acting in a manner of, I might not get anybody, so I might as well go for it. It will be destructive.
That's not the attitude that she has. That's not the attitude that a woman should have. A man or a woman. Nobody is promised tomorrow. You may or you may not ever get married. You may or you may not ever be in a relationship. So are you saying to me, I'm supposed to sit on the shelf, not necessarily be a virgin, but sit on the shelf or be a virgin and stay there and not date and not try to find someone and not be in any kind of relationship or anything like that because I'm thinking somebody might come along? See, it's the same. You're on the other side of the coin. I'm on one side and you're on the other side. Me, if I was 25 and I didn't know whether I wasn't in a relationship, I would not concern myself about whether I got married or not. I wouldn't go out and be a hoe, but I wouldn't be turning down I wouldn't be turning down people that I get involved with and have a relationship with or try to have a relationship with someone. I wouldn't be turning that person down because I don't know whether I don't want to get involved with you because I may or may not, I might find my husband in 2 years and he might not like me having sex. I wouldn't live my life like that. I would never do that.
Your argument is kind of diffuse, HQ. You got so many different points. So we have to take these at one at a time. You said so many different things that you're going to date somebody, should you not date. So let's take it from the aspect of right. You're out there trying to find somebody. If you're trying to find somebody, I'm assuming you have some level of belief that you will find a man to finish out life with. Right. Because you're out there dating. You're out there dating, you're interacting with men under quote unquote good faith. Now, let's say if you are a woman who don't believe that she can ever find somebody and she's out there dating. I believe you're placing yourself in a situation to then now what type of woman you're going to be out there when you engage with men. Are you just going to be knocking men down, or are you going to be out there trying to scratch an itch? What is your
No. Go answer, Erica. Answer.
Yeah. Well, thank you, HQ. I want to answer that, Mr. Q. So I would not advise someone to do that because we women can't play the same game. We risk getting, STDs or pregnancy, that's just not going to work. Right. But I think at that point, that those kind of women may have to just accept the fact that they may have to share someone. If they know they're not going to get a husband at the end of the road, the next best alternative is to find someone who does want to share life with you, but they may want to share it with another person. As long as that situation is a safe one, you all have some understandings involved, as far as protection goes, but that's the next best option.
Yeah, and I understand that aspect of it, but I agree with you. First of all, I agree with you just on the sheer numbers on planet Earth. They're always going to, men, for whatever reason, either be our own fault or just life or whatever, we die faster at a faster rate than you guys do typically. It's just going to, and it could be work related. It could just be us, our aggressive nature. It's always going to be more women than men based off of how the opposite gender lives. So I even though I don't necessarily advocate for polyamory or whatever the term is, polygamy, polygyny, the polyamorous lifestyle, the only reason I don't agree with it is because there's no oversight. Everybody has their own version of it, and that's why the reason I don't think it works in modernity. The reason it worked centuries ago is because there was some semblance of structure when people a man could have multiple wives, but he had to quote unquote take care of them to some extent. So now it's kind of a wild card. But what was that point you just said, Erica? I wanted to talk about the sharing. Only reason I don't think sharing is going to work in modernity openly is because people are selfish. So a lot of people think, and I might be the only one, and you can have people in the chat can opine on this. I think people think that men are just naturally selfish. They think we're selfish. They think that men wanting multiple women is only sex related, and a portion of it is, but some of it could just be that some men do like variety and feel the need to want to be around all of them at some point or another. But I don't think it would necessarily work because there's a level of selfishness because all women believe that women over this side of the world typically believe they can get one man to themselves, and the numbers alone says otherwise.
Yeah, I don't inherently believe. I believe we all have sexual choices, and we can all have sexual discipline, right? I mean, the whole point is to know what's going on with yourself. Whether, are you living in alignment? Are you living your truth? Are you living with what you want, need, and believe? I believe that if I was 25, I would not be on a celibacy journey. I wouldn't be out there being hoish, but I wouldn't be on a celibacy journey. I'm just keeping it a buck. For me, I just know that I wouldn't be. I'm a highly sexual person. It just is what it is. I'd be careful. I'd make sure that I wouldn't contract anything out of the ordinary. I'd be very safe, but I wouldn't be saying, oh, well, I gotta be celibate because my husband might come along. I would never, ever do that. That would not be, because this is a journey. This is the life's journey. I'm not saying the life's journey is out here to have sex. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this life is to be lived. It's not to be on the sidelines waiting for this person or that person. And I get it. People want sexual access, and they only want to be the person to do that. But I had a life before I met you. I met you at 30. I had a life before I met you. And you had a life. Whether you decided to live your life to the fullest and experience the things that you experienced, that's on you. But I didn't take the time to say, well, maybe I'll meet my husband at 30, so I'll just be celibate all this time, and I'll wait for him. That's not how I would ever think. I would never encourage a woman to sit on the sideline and make her life, make her not let her live her truth or live her life, because she may find a man. We are married at a 25% clip, which tells me there's 75% of women out there that may or may not ever get married. So who am I to sit there and say, no, all y'all got to sit on the side. All y'all got to keep your legs closed. You got to wait till a man maybe or maybe not come along. Ain't no way I'd encourage no woman to do that or man to do that. Ain't no way I would do that. Ain't no way.
Yeah, but I think that it's not that it's not men out. Well, first of all, we know 75% of the women aren't sitting down not doing anything. We know that right now just by the number, the single birth rate. So we know that's not necessarily the case. If I can't hear anything.
And I'm not encouraging women to be whole. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying,
right,
because and the statistics are there, we as Black women only get married at 25%, which means 9 times out of 10, a lot of us are not going to be married. And some of us don't have no kids. Mm-hmm. So That don't make no sense to me to encourage you to sit on the sideline and say you're not going to date. I'm not going to be hoping I find a man to get involved with, hoping to find a man. And I wouldn't tell a man to do that same.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
That's
tell
not the
selective.
argument. The argument isn't telling you guys to sit. I'm assuming, but based off of how you began the conversation, no one is saying that you guys should sit down on the sideline. I thought so. I'm trying to figure out is your argument that women who don't get the type of men that they want, they should sit on the sideline, or women who are not pleasing to the type of men that they want, they should sit on the sideline? That's what I'm trying to wrestle with.
No. I'm not
Because you keep saying dating. You keep saying
I'm not saying she looks any kind of way. I'm just going by that 25% statistic. Beautiful, ugly, fat, skinny, baby mama, no baby mama, single, never ain't had no babies. All of them, all of that 75% encompasses those women.
Oh, so this goes back to what Erica was saying earlier. Some of these people, the reason that aren't married, the 75%, if you will, aren't married is not because they can't find this. How often have we heard that women said that they've been engaged and didn't go through with it? For whatever reason, valid or not, they didn't go through with it. So the real argument is that if we add the numbers of those who've been engaged, and if they happen to be true, which I don't know how we can actually quantify that accurately, but if they've been engaged, they had an opportunity.
But even I gave Erica, I gave her that 25%. So I gave her 50%. I said, okay, let's put those women into that. Let's put those women that were engaged, those women who, let's put all of those women into that. And let's build the number from 25 to 50. Half. That still means half of those women are not going to get married. Our rate of marriage is not going to hit 50%. But I'm saying, I'm giving you 50%. I'm giving you that rate, okay, of 50%. 50% of us aren't going to get married. So what does the 50% of us who aren't going to get married do? Are we supposed to sit on the sideline and not do anything? Are we supposed to sit on the sideline and keep our legs closed forever? Are we supposed to sit on the sideline and not try to actively engage in this planet? What are we supposed to do? Because the way men talk, women are supposed to sit on the sideline and wait for a man to come across and marry them. And we know for a fact, 50%, because I'm giving y'all 50%, won't get married. So what example do you give for those ladies or advice? Go, Erica.
Okay, thank you.
Wait a minute, hold on, Q. Go, Erica.
I'm going to say to her, go forward, but be very selective and be as chaste as you can be with the people that you select. Because I'm also somewhat of a believer in like soul ties. And if you got all kind of people that have been in and out and through you, I mean, that's going to overflow and spill into something real. It could be mental, whatever.
But the 304 is the extreme version. I'm saying a woman who, for instance, I may have a relationship a year. I may try to get into a relationship every year. So if I try to get into a relationship every year, how does that equate for me? And the statistics say 50%. I'm giving y'all 50%. 50% of us won't get married. I could potentially have 10 bodies in 10 years. But why would that make me a hoe, though?
I would say try to have a goal to make it more than a year. Because if it's a year and it's cut off, then I'm thinking, okay, are you a person who can do relationships?
No,
you know what I mean?
can't do relationships. I can't do them. So what do I say? What do you say to that person? I know I'm messed up, but I can't do relationships. I'm just giving you the worst case scenario because there are people out there, right? There's people out there who say don't even think about making me your wife. So what do?
Well, that's when we go into the line of you can't save everybody. If you're going to be the person that I can't do relationships, that's a red flag. That's
Right.
to me. But
But they
Well-
know. Some people know. You look at Elon Musk. He got 14 baby mamas. You understand what I'm saying? Some of us ain't gonna make it. Some of us ain't gonna be able to do that. So
He's rich.
how do we poor, rich or poor? Bum Keisha got 10 babies. And she can't keep a relationship. So I'm saying it don't matter whether you rich or poor. Goofy people is goofy people. So those people, they still gonna conduct themselves. They still gonna try to get into relationships. They still gonna do what they do. So I'm saying the label of saying, oh, she got to sit there and not have any kids. Oh, she got to sit there and not have any sex. That don't make sense to me because some of y'all can't conduct yourselves in relationships. Black America. Oh, shoot. Black America? Black America.
He's still there.
Are you still there? Black
Hello.
America.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What did you come up to say?
All right. So first of all, I came up to say, the girl Erica, I love you. I'm in love with everything you're saying. You're awesome. And Q is full of shit. I hate the fact that he has let his one-sided Christianity blur his vision about how things are, because he just said that there is no way to conduct having a poly lifestyle or having more than one wife lifestyle.
That's not what I said. That's not. I said that it's not under any oversight. There's no collective way of how it's administered. I didn't say it wasn't impossible.
Is there a collective way of how a husband and a wife are to conduct themselves, and where is that rooted in?
Yes, it's rooted in how people. It's rooted in a collective accepting moral values that's cross section between different people. It don't have to be 100%. There are certain values.
Where does it come from,
that people can hold that who see other things differently. There is the intersection.
Where does the base of that come from, Q?
Well, you want me to say Christianity, but it's actually existed before then.
So exactly.
For me, it's Christianity. For me.
So Christianity also, Q, has where Solomon had 700 had a bunch of wives.
I know, that's why I said, okay,
hold on. Okay, go ahead. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, brother. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I just want you, when you think about a husband and a wife, think about what a husband and a wife has always been all throughout history. In the Bible, it says, yes, a man is to have one woman and one wife. Yes, we all know why Peter did that and said that, because the sons was having sex with the father's new wives and all of those things. Q, we that are educated in this know that. But when you say on a platform with other people listening, Q, that is not the way that it has ever been in the Bible or through history. It's never been like that. I'm sorry. It's just bad information when you do that, brother.
Can I respond now?
Yeah, respond. Yes.
I never.
And then you two got to get off stage because we got women.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, Erica.
Yeah,
sorry,
sure.
There wasn't no argument up here for no two men. Yeah. We talking about the women.
I never said that it wasn't a way to live. I actually even said that it existed in the past because they had rules associated to it. What I'm saying is that selfishness won't allow it to prevail today. I didn't say it was bad or even wrong. So I don't even know where you got that from. I'm just saying the way people are today and their selfishness, it won't prevail. In my opinion, and then I said in my opinion.
I got one question. How and when can a human being not be selfish?
There's level of selfishness. I'm just saying that won't work because, and typically what we hear women say they want their own man, and that's what I'm saying. So you can be selfish on other things, but I'm talking about this in particular. This level of selfishness, they say they only want their own man, and that will make it
nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Men say all the time that they don't want a woman that is dealing with other men. So why don't we have the right to say we don't want to deal with men who have other women?
Well, you have the right to say it. I'm not disagreeing with your right to say it, and I only want one. But what I'm saying is that if for it to work, they're going to have share men because they're not enough. That's my only point. I'm not saying you have to. I don't think it's going to work, especially in America. In mass.
What polyamorous?
Yeah, in mass. Open.
Oh no, that'll never happen. It was in the Bible and it didn't work. It didn't work outside of the Bible, and it's not working now. So I don't think that'll ever in mass happen. I don't think it will.
Yeah, but I'm out now. You got two women on there. So
thank you, Q. Thank you.
Hi.
Hey. Tierney.
Hey, you guys.
Hey. These men know they'll come up here in a minute. Won't they come up here in a minute?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Lord. We can't have nothing.
I have a question for the ladies since we got two ladies up here. Ladies. You all hit the like button, super chat. I know I done told y'all about the super chat. Men, what happened to the Cash Apps? No, not the Cash App. I don't like Cash App. Super chat. Hit the like button. Do the super chat thing. All of that for the content. Support the channel. The channel needs moolah to keep it going. I would want some super chat. $2, $5, $10. Great. All of those things. The ladies be supporting. Come on, gentlemen. Please hit the like and Cash App, please. No, super chat. I'm sorry. I hate Cash Apps. I don't like that. I don't like that system because I'm scared somebody gonna steal something from the Cash App. So I don't like Cash Apps. You know what I mean? I just don't like them. So anyway, ladies, why would a woman? No. Why do women acquiesce to men if they know that they're in the right? Erica first.
Because you have to pick and choose your battles. Would you rather be right and alone? That's my premise on it. Just live to see another.
How do you fight for your views in a relationship? How do you fight for that?
Just make it be known. Here's my perspective. Here's my point of view. I'd like for you to sit down and listen to it. Understand where I'm coming from. And as long as I know that I've been heard or my perspective has been taken into account, that's all. I'm good on that. Absolutely.
Tierney, why do women acquiesce to men if they know they're in the right?
A lot of us don't. A lot of us gonna argue back. It takes actually.
I got a question. Do you think how do we get past? Wait a minute. I'm gonna ask you directly. Do you think that's combative?
I think the language can make it combative. But I think that if you know how to properly communicate with someone, or maybe just that partner, because everybody's different. If you know how to communicate with that partner, you could get further. But if you yelling, screaming, rolling your neck, cursing, that's not going to get anywhere.
So is it a specific man that you can be? See, there's different types of men.
Right.
You know that. And the type of man I like to engage you in conversation. And then I like to hear your thought, and then I want you to hear my thought. And I mean, be conscious of hearing what I'm saying. Not, oh yeah, whatever. No, I don't engage with a man who does that. You sit down on the bed, we sit down, and you say, hey, I would like to spend the money here. This is why. And then he says, I would like to spend the money here. I think this is a better choice. And then we come to the agreement as to how it really maybe there's a hybrid, maybe there's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If he's a man who says, no, we ain't doing that, we doing what I say, I'm already turned off. I'm already tuned out. So I'm saying, how do you, when you're picking a man, do you immediately see that in a man, and do you run the other way when you know that you can't have this engagement with him? Or do you allow the attraction to overrun your senses? Erica?
If he's always doing that, no, it's going to be my way or the highway kind of thing. That's not going to work for me. I would like to see some kind of compromise. Now, let's say it could be 70-30. I'm good with that. 70% of the time, we're combining our ideas and thoughts and our ways of doing things. And he decides, okay, I'm going to go this route, and it's more along his line of thinking, then that's okay. But as long as there are times where that 30% were, okay, we'll try your way, then I'm fine with that. It just shows compromise. But if that's not there, then no, I can't.
Yeah, like I don't know if y'all seen the Pop the Balloon yesterday.
They don't want you to do no reviews on their show no more. They hitting your channel because you're gonna be paying. They're gonna cut your money because you ain't no much. So I ain't doing no reviews on them no more.
Right. Yeah, they copywriting everybody, and we don't know why.
Yeah, they doing that seriously.
But they brought back one of the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What about the answer you were finna say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So the very first contestant they brought back yesterday was a repeat, and he was very combative. He wanted to argue with every single woman because of her opinion. And I mean, HQ and Erica, it was 10 ladies, and he argued with all 10. So if I am coming into a relationship, a compromisation ship, a one-on-one ship, if I'm on any ship with you, baby, are we gonna sink, or are we gonna float on this thing together? And if I can't talk to you and have a conversation with you, I'm going to either become very combative because I'm going to try to force my way in, or I'm going to keep it pushing. Yeah, and that's one thing that I adore about my husband is we can have a conversation. And sometimes it's not always me saying, okay, baby, you got it. Sometimes he'll say, okay, baby, you got it. And that makes me want to submit to him even more, So it shouldn't just be a woman. The woman just needs to let the man lead. Sometimes a man knows that in order to keep his wife happy, he can let her take the lead as well.
This is a bigger. Okay, go ahead, Erica. Go ahead. Flora, come on this panel. Flora and Natural K, come on up.
I agree, Tyranny. I agree.
Yeah.
You agree. Okay. Here's the thing. Is submission always a good thing?
It's healthy.
It's healthy.
I feel like it could be healthy. I mean, I'm almost 40. I'm not finna sit here and keep arguing with you. So you know what? I'll let you have it. And then when you come looking dumb because you didn't listen to what I told you, you're gonna come humble and you're gonna be like, okay, babe, I'm sorry, you was right. I feel like it could be healthy.
Erica?
Can submission always be a good thing? I would say no. It depends on the circumstance, because I'm thinking of, extraneous circumstances like domestic violence or submission if there's, God forbid, like an outside baby. Like, for instance, the movie
Outside Baby? Hell no.
Outside Babies.
The movie Fences with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay. I never saw it though. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to spoil.
No. Don't worry about it. Speak about it. Don't worry about it. I probably will never watch it. Probably.
But she submitted to her husband even when he was unfaithful, and he actually.
No, Erica, was that submission? Was that submission or was that weakness?
I think I think that was duty.
You think that was what?
She didn't love him?
agree with her.
She didn't love him?
I think she did. Yeah, I think she did. She wouldn't have done it if she didn't love him. But like I said, that's just going way to the to the edge of things.
Right.
Most times, yes, submission is good.
Submission. What I mean,
I think he loved her.
How did you feel when you saw that on screen? Did you feel some type of way? What did you feel when you saw her being that submissive?
I thought first it couldn't be me because it's one of my deal breakers. But the child didn't have a mother. I don't know what happened with the extramarital affair with the female, but I can kind of see that the child needed a mother.
Right.
So I can see that, but yeah.
Ooh,
that's like that movie. What's that thing?
Go ahead.
What's that blonde singer Ray Charles? When he had a baby on his woman. Police, you not only did you commit adultery, now your adultery has to live amongst us. Look, you guys, when I was married before, the Lord told me that my problem was I loved him more. I loved him more. I loved him more than I loved me. And I will never do that again because a man can sense that. Y'all men know when a woman loves you more than you love her, you're going to do what you want to do because you know she's not going nowhere.
So, wait a minute, hold on. That's another question. You said a man can sense when a woman loves him more. So you don't recommend her loving him more?
No. Because I don't recommend. I don't know how to put that. I just don't recommend putting you last. I'm not saying put you first because relationships are supposed to be equal. But when you find yourself giving him everything, even threesomes, when you find yourself doing stuff like that with your husband, I don't know.
Erica?
I can't do the threesome thing, Tyranny. I can't do it.
Hey, Erica, I mean, she opened it. I mean,
I'll be right back, HQ, be right back.
Sometimes they find themselves in those positions. What do you do when you find yourself in them positions? Okay. These are tough questions women gotta face with the fences. I saw a clip where she said, "You ain't my husband, but that's my mother, my child," or something to that effect. I wasn't sure what it was. It was like at the end of the movie. Yeah, I saw a clip and she said, "I didn't say I was gonna be your wife, but I will be the mother to that child," or something like that to that effect. But I can't remember exactly what was said.
You should watch that movie, HQ.
I can't watch movies like that. I can't watch movies like that because it upsets me. It upsets me when a woman doesn't take complete agency. Not that she would need to leave him. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is maybe this would not have happened if you would have stood up earlier in the relationship and said, "I'm not going to tolerate any nonsense." If you tolerate nonsense, then it's going to be the end in this relationship. If I tolerate this type of nonsense, it's going to be the end. You're going to lose me. And she stood up, but from my understanding, it happened over a period of years, maybe. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. And so that told me she had been putting up with it for a long time, which means the respect is gone or the respect is minimal. Because how can I respect you do you think a woman has respect if a man does that? If he cheats, you think it's respect there for the woman?
If it's repeated like that situation, if it was going on and on and over and over and over, and more kids, no, not at all.
But I'm assuming I don't know the movie, but I'm saying I'm assuming that he cheated more than once. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Probably.
Probably. So I'm saying I would be upset if I saw that type of movie, because I want women to have their own agency where they have no tolerance for certain things. Okay, fine. You cheated one time. Maybe HQ can get past that one time. But repeatedly, we're going to have a problem. Because I'm just going to be 100%. I probably could get past one time. I probably could. If I found out, I probably could. Because I just could. Maybe. But I would not look at it. I would say in my mind, I'm not going to tolerate that again. You did it once. Okay, cool. Not cool. Cool, not cool. And maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe I needed to lose a little bit of weight. Maybe I needed to control my mouth a little bit more. Maybe I did all of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's snatch it back, HQ. The mouth, the weight, let's snatch it back. And then I start doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, and then you go out and then you cheat again.
The only challenge with, the movie is the time period that it took place in. It was in the 30s or maybe the 40s. So
yeah, they did see.
I don't know.
Yeah, they did have.
I don't know if she was able to leave just lickety split like that, back then, and how,
that's true.
The house was set up.
That's true. That's true. And women were way different back then. They were different back then because they contemplated a lot before they left. They contemplated a lot before they ended marriages. And some women didn't end marriages. Some women did, some women didn't. So that would be my take on that. So even if you got into a relationship with someone, do you think it's ever any good time to say, I need a break in a relationship? And if you needed a break, why would you need a break in a relationship?
We're talking about a marriage?
Yeah, marriage. Yeah.
I firmly believe if we're in a marriage situation, to me, there is no breaks, honestly. Now, are you talking about separation, possibly, in that regard?
Yeah, separate. If we're having issues, take a break and reassess, or don't take a break.
I would say no, because that leaves a door open for possible exploration while your spouse is not there with you day to day. I don't. If he were to ask for it, of course, I would comply. But that's not something I would do. I wouldn't initiate it. We're going to be all in, or
we're not. Right. I feel the same way. No breaks unless we just absolutely have to take a break where where we're to the point of a physical confrontation.
Right.
I think the break is needed if there's a physical confrontation, but I don't think a break is needed. You have to have those lines of communication open, that you're not running out the door. I'm not running out the door. You're not running out the door, and we got to sit down and have a conversation. Otherwise, this is not going to work. That's why I said I need the type of man that I can sit down with and say, hey, this X, Y, and Z. And he has to be that type of man that wants to sit down and have the conversation with X, Y, and Z. The conversation we had with Black America yesterday was more so of he don't care whether he hurt your feelings or not.
Right.
And I was trying to tell him, you're speaking from a 50-year-old man's perspective. I'm talking about people who want to stay married. You know what I'm saying? You want it. How you gonna want to stay married and you just hurt her feelings, and then she's upset and she's giving you silent treatment, and you're not even gonna address it? That's not how that marriage is gonna last if you don't address it.
It just sound like
I didn't hear. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is that you, Tierney? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was just gonna say it sounded like he gave up, and when you give up, when you feel like giving up, but you don't want to sign them papers, you need a break. You need this. Look, I don't. Breaks don't always mean opening up your legs to the next person. That's that's the problem people make, and that's how they make outside babies.
That's
A
true.
break is you need to go sit over there. I sit over here, and let's figure out what we're gonna do. Let's figure out what we're doing wrong. Clearly, I'm not hearing you, and clearly, you're not hearing me. So maybe,
Right.
maybe it's gonna take us some time apart
Mm-hmm.
to get it together. Like for example, my aunt, and I don't. Some women would stay with their husband for 20 years just to go around bragging, I've been married for 20 years. Girl, don't nobody care. Especially if your marriage is not working. But I know a woman right now, she's been married to her husband for how many years? He was her first husband, first lover, first father to kids, except everything.
Mm.
And he is breaking her heart. He comes home every day and she got that resentment, that Beyonce resentment. So instead of her pulling out Glocks, what she needs to do is go get a 1-bedroom apartment and go take a break. Let him take a break too. He already doing his thing. Let him see how
he's cheating. He's cheating.
He already doing his thing. So let him do his thing and then come home without you there. That's gonna be something that maybe a ding and wake him up. But when us ladies want to stay in something just so we can carry around a badge of no honor, then it's making us angry. It's making us judge other women. You know how sometimes we look at another woman like, girl, what's wrong with you? You must not be happy at home. But she's not. But she's just staying just so she could say she got a man.
Wait a minute, I got a question to that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going along.
If you unhappy, do you leave or do you stay?
Well, in relationships,
yes.
I was quick to leave. Look at me, I didn't have no kid. I was quick to leave. I didn't have to stay with you. It's plenty more fish in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
But in the marriage, it was harder because when you sign your name on that dotted line, it's like a covenant that you've made. It's a contract.
Right.
So it's harder. But if it's not working, it's not working.
If it's not working, it's working.
It's not working.
What you say, Erica?
I'll answer the question. I would stay because you do make vows, and I believe I'm more religious too in that regard, that God's watching you to make sure you hold true to the vows you stated. So there's that. But I wanted to circle back to the separation piece because there's another layer that I want to uncover on that.
Okay.
For example, I'll just make a scenario. Say me and my husband, we separate for whatever reason, whether I initiated or he initiated, doesn't matter, but we're separate. I would say that if he does venture out and, maybe see another woman or whatever,
right,
but we get back together, one scenario could be that female that he saw doesn't like the fact that we're back together. And now she wants to try to break the marriage apart. Almost to the point of like another movie reference, Obsessed, where she couldn't take the fact that Idris Elba was going back to his wife. There's that piece of it that you have to consider. And also, unfortunately, it's a double standard for women. I already know this, but even if I were to step out and be with another man, when I come back to my husband, if he finds out, men don't play that, It's like you've been, Tierney, I hear you. You've been under another man's rule, right? He's, I don't know. There's a word I'm thinking of, but he's dominated you, right? And men can't seem to get over that. And I mean, I understand it is a man thing, but that's why I say no. Stick it out. You just stick it out, work it out the best you can. Don't separate.
I guess if we were, I would never get to the point where you couldn't talk to me. I would never push him to the point where he couldn't talk to me. I would always be open to that communication. I want you to talk to me. I need you to talk to me. I don't need you to put your hands on me. I don't need you to cuss me out. See, these were rules that I had when I got married. You can't put your hands on me and you can't call me out of my name. These are the number 1 and 2 rules. Can't do those 2 things. When you do those 2 things, those are the boundaries. And once those boundaries are broken, I can't come back. So my husband knew, no, you're not going to be able to call me the B word, the C word, the A word, whatever word you want to call me. Don't feel free to call me any of those words because that's a boundary. So anything else, you can talk to me. We can have a conversation. Anything you can ask me anything. You say anything to me because this is what that marriage entails. And when I signed the paper and I said I do, that meant I take you good or bad, sick and health, sickness and health, right? So a man shouldn't have any reason. I don't give a man any reason to walk out the door. You walk out the door, then that's a decision that you made because I'm not giving you that reason. So for that reason, I'm going to be the fit, feminine, and friendly person that you need. Open for communication, not denying you no sex. I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do in a marriage because I want that marriage to work because I'm choosing to be married. People just go get married. Some people just get married. They don't even think about it. I'm choosing to be married to you. So that means I'm choosing to talk to you. I'm choosing to hear what problems and issues you have. And there's no reason for you to walk out the door. And there's no reason for us to be angry. And I get it. If I'm angry with you, you angry with me, sleep in the bedroom, sleep on the couch, do whatever. But we going to figure it out within that 24 hours. We never had an issue where we couldn't talk to each other and fight. I remember we had a fight one time and I said, you got to get out because you ain't listening to me. And we were young. And he said, I ain't going nowhere. This is my house. Me and this kid's house. What do you mean me and the kid's house? Them 2 kids over there is mine. I'm thinking to myself, them 2 kids is not yours. He was like, this house is all of me and my kid's house. You feel you gonna go somewhere? You go over your mama's house, spend the weekend at your mama's house, but you better come back and act right because these 4 kids ain't going nowhere. This is our house. I looked at him like I snatched back. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute. I only got 2 kids. I'm thinking in my head, I only got 2 kids by him. He gonna claim all 4 of them. He ain't let me take none of them. He was like, dang, these are the kids. This is the kids' house and my house. I ain't going nowhere. You want to act up? You gonna go to your mom's house for 2 days. I went over my mom's house for 1 day, came back, face was straight. Straighten your face out, HQ. Straighten your face out, HQ. So I said to myself, after that, I said to myself, he's all in. He's all in. He chose. He's choosing. Right. You know what I'm saying? You choosing to stay. And so that's when I knew I had a choice too. I had to choose to stay. Right. I'm
gonna say this right quick and then I gotta get off. But,
all right.
I'm cause my phone about to die. That's the only reason. But my husband is a Cancer, so I gotta tread lightly with him because they is emotional. But when baby, we're not going to bed angry. And the last time we had a disagreement, right. I went to the bed and in my mind I'm thinking he better put his arm around me and he better say, baby, I love you and I want to work this out. Right. But because men get stubborn and they want us to put our arm around them and say, baby, I want to work this out. We over there in the bed turned the opposite way from each other, just angry. So, but then we love each other so much. So one of you got to give in. This is why I say submission is not bad all the time. It's a form of humbleness, right? So I had to open up and say, I forgot what I said. We might have argued, but we didn't disrespect each other. Right. And y'all cannot be expecting to call your woman a B or, be aggressive with her and expect for her to have a good, loving, conversation moving forward. Just come together. When I charge my phone, HQ, if y'all are still up here, I'll be back.
Okay. Thank you, Tierney. Thank you, Tierney. Right. So Let me read these super chats. Thank you. Jariah, aka the Saturn 9 man, $10. Thank you. We as humans at our base are selfish by nature. That's true. It is a choice to fight against that nature. Where one agrees or disagrees, religion is a guideline to fight that selfishness. Okay. Natural KRC, $5. Thank you very much. Shout out. Cap to the panel. Good evening, HQ in chat. Hashtag natural gang. Thank you, ma'am. Jay Tillman, I think it is Canada, $27.99. Blessings to the mothers. I love the mother in you. As of today, I'll never be able to say I love you to my mother again. Ugh, damn, Jay. I'm sorry to hear that. If you still have your mother, do me the favor and call her and tell her that you love her. Nice. You all do that. Do that, please. Jariah, aka the Saturn 9 man, $10. In a true committed relationship, you know how devastating it is for a man to hear his woman say to him, "You hurt me." For a real man, that is get right talk. Oh, okay. Now I see. It's devastating for us to hear a man to hear that you hurt. And that, yes. Black America just said to me, that's not what I said last night. Did you hear him, Erica, last night?
I did. I heard the conversation.
Did I take that wrong? Didn't he say that to me? That I don't care whether you cry in the corner or not? Didn't he say that?
Here's the thing with that. I think that when men say, he does not care, the way we hear it first is in our emotions before logic. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to sit well with us, but more context and more reasoning behind the statement, I don't care, needs to be expounded upon. Right. And I said that. I said, I'm not going to take that well. I'm not going to take that well. If you take that well. If a man, if he just leaves me in the corner to cry, I'm not going to take that well because I'm going to think you don't give a damn about me. But we got to have wisdom too. As women, we can't just shut down. We have to wait for more explanation as to why are you saying that before. Right. But he didn't give me more contact. He didn't give me more contact. He didn't. He doubled down on it. I was like, that ain't gonna sit right with no woman. That just ain't gonna sit right. And then I had to remind him, you're a 50. Me and you are similar in the nature. I don't freaking want to deal with your headache stuff that I dealt with at 20. No, just get away from me. No. But I had to remind him that we're speaking about a 25, 30-year-old beginning relationship. You got to go over there and engage with this woman. You got to. Otherwise, it's not going to, the relationship is not going to, it's not going to last. Somebody asked me, can you come up? Yeah, Black America, come up. I've been posting a link for Florida to come up. She in there for whoever to come up. Erica is my co-host today. Co-host. Yeah. So I've been posting a link for whoever wants to come up here, because we want to have the discussion, right? So I said, so when my husband said that to me, somebody said something. What did he do? He what the hell happened? He came home. How we got into how he and I got into it was, I came home from getting my hair done. I was in the bathtub, and he came home and he had been drinking, and he pushed my head under the water after I had gotten $100 hairdo. He just under the water, not to drown me or anything, just to wet my hair up because he knew that was going to mess up my hair. Because I was going out with his sister. And my mother-in-law, and we were going to sit down, dress up nice, and all that. And so he called himself, "Oh, y'all don't need to be going nowhere, blah, blah, blah." And he pushed my head under the water. So after that, all of that,
I was like, oh no, I'm tired of it. We ain't finna do this. You know me and your mama finna do something and blah 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 blah. We just gonna go have dinner and then catch a movie and blah blah blah. How you gonna be doing all of this? Just a big old fight. How you gonna mess up my hair, man? What the hell? So I couldn't do nothing. So I was already pissed. So that's what he did. It wasn't a matter of we getting into a fight. We never got into a physical altercation at all. I've been, I've hit him on the shoulders and, and he's grabbed me and held me and was like, no, we ain't finna do that. We ain't finna do that. Get away from me. Stop swinging on me. That kind of thing. We've been in those kind of altercations, of course, where I swung and he not swung to his face, but you know what I'm saying. We've been in those, but nothing beyond that. And he's never called me a name or anything like that. So what are you coming up with, Black America?
Can I explain? You know what your husband just told you in that instance when he was sitting on the couch?
What?
I don't care. Go walk that shit off. And then when you walk that shit off, have your mouth and your face straight when you bring your ass back in this house. That's exactly what me and these kids ain't going nowhere. I don't care what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying.
That's exactly how he put it. Me and the kids ain't going nowhere.
Exactly. So I don't know why when I say it, and you're a woman who has been, that's why I say you're giving these younger women bad information, because the shit that you guys, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You had your hand up like you was finna talk. The shit you guys say is insignificant. It doesn't matter. You are my number one goal and my number one thing. I told you, it's my job to live, kill, and die for you in that order. I've always said that.
Right.
So the other shit you say does not matter.
Yeah, but that's the view me and you have as an older. I'm saying to give the young girls, young men advice. You cannot say, let's cut to the chase immediately.
You know why you have to say that?
Right.
Because then you'll have somebody like Tierney that thinks they can push and pull with their husband. There is no pushing and pulling. You have an area that you can. My second woman is great with finances, right? She does all of the taxes and everything. She's better than number one, but number one knows how to cook. Number three is my sexual thing. They all have a position. They all have a place.
Right.
So you can't tell, but I tell them all, hey, you guys can all go. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
You're a unique individual.
I'm
your
not.
Setup is way different.
I'm not unique. What it is the problem is I have became honest. And when you become honest, you can do and say these certain things.
But are your relationships fruitful with dishonesty?
Art, say that again.
Is your relationships as rich as they could be from dishonesty? For the women. Erica, question. Would you be happy with that? Would you be happy in that kind of relationship?
No, ignorance is not bliss. I'm sorry. My time's too precious to be living in some lollygag land where I'm not being told exactly what it is. I would say no.
What do you mean? Well, it doesn't matter. Everything isn't for everybody.
Right. So I'm saying it would be difficult for me to deal with somebody who said, I'm not going to deal with your issue because X, Y, and Z. I mean, that's the way it came across to me.
No. If you have a problem, I am going to take care of it from stem to stern, front to back, beginning to end. If you have a problem, it is but I don't want to hear you talk about the problem. I don't want to hear you talk about work. I don't want to hear you. unless I can actually do something about it, then I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about your day. I don't want to hear about what Susie did at work. A lot of men, we put up with those things because we like you. We love you. We want to be vagina adjacent. So you have to put up with those things. It's not saying that men want to put up those things. I have become comfortable with enough with to say, no, well, I don't care. I don't really want to hear it. Or I'll just be sitting in the zone and they'll be talking and everything you hear, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, but to be fair, you have three different options. We're talking about having one option. We're talking about being in a relationship one-on-one. You're talking about three different women, three different options. So to be fair, you have different avenues in which you can express or not express yourself.
That's not the way it works, HU. That's why I told you.
So aren't those three different ladies, three different human beings?
But everybody has a position and a role that they play. Once again,
three different personalities, though. Right?
Yeah, but I don't care about that. HQ. Nobody still puts gas in their own car. None of them do. They don't have to worry about anything that other women have to worry about. I'm gonna put it to you like that. They don't have to worry about lights going off. They don't have to worry about food. They don't have to worry about gas. They don't have to worry about car repairs. They don't have to worry about anything that, like, a lot of women, especially in our culture, Black women, every year or 2 years when they get their income tax money, they got to go buy a new car. You've seen that. You know what I'm talking about. They don't have to worry. They don't have those worries. So
are you saying because you can provide, they should be happy with what you give them?
They don't have to. They can leave at any time. She was right here. You heard. You remember. Bitch, you can go anytime you feel like it. I don't care. We done been around each other since we were 13. Leave. You was here when we was on the panel talking.
I heard you.
It doesn't matter to me. I have become comfortable enough and lived enough life to say, hey, I love you to death. But if you're not here, it doesn't matter. Just like if I'm not here, I know it'll be hard to replace the exact me, but you'll be able to find another man. The problem is it's like the thing which you was talking about, the 21 to 30. Right. 10 bodies there in that age frame matters. HQ, you could have sex with 10 people a week. You're over 50 years old. It no longer matters. Your body count at this age no longer matters. As a young woman that's trying to get with a man and be in a permanent relationship, that's when it matters. You see what I mean?
Right.
Because the context is different. You could have sex with a different person every day. Right. I can't administer that same knowledge onto one of my 20-something-year-old daughters. You see what I mean? Because because it's a huge difference. Because what we look at for in a woman is, if I walk into a club, if I walk into a grocery store, if I go to my friend's house, if it's somebody there that you had sex with, we are no longer even talking.
Well, to be fair, most people aren't out here hunting down sexual conquest like every day. A lot of us go months, maybe years or so without having sex. So I think it's a different dynamic. If you're hunting for sex all the time, and most of us are not, because we can go 2-3 years. Women can go 2-3 years without having sex, and they may have an encounter, may try to get into a relationship, and then something happens, and then they get out of it, and then they're celibate for another 2 or 3 years. So that 7-year age gap doesn't necessarily mean she's having sex every year. She may just have 2 or 3 lovers within that 7 years. You don't know, because women will go without having sex for a while.
No,
This
is the difference, HQ.
Mm-hmm.
Like the beautiful young Erica, right? And then we have the beautiful older HQ. When Erica goes out the house and she goes to the gas station, men are approaching her. Men no longer see you like that on an everyday basis. Okay. She has more access to men. In the inverse, when a man, especially a young man, unless he's extremely attractive, when he goes out the house, if he's broke or he's homeless, nobody is noticing this young man. That same homeless young lady, everybody is noticing her. So her opportunity for intercourse and interactions with men is completely different. It's just a double standard. Once again, it's one of those double standards that
we have
everybody
advantage
has a problem with.
Yeah, we have advantage. We have that advantage of
Right.
having sex whenever we want to, because it's simple to have sex. But most women don't. Most women, I'm saying most women don't. We don't.
And like I said, you're not outside, HQ. I'm
Yeah, but
outside.
even Erica can attest to the fact she's not going to have sex.
Erica has a husband. Erica has a husband. She's not outside, HQ.
Yeah, but I'm saying, even if she was that
I'm
age.
not married.
Oh, I thought you said you was married. Well, so do
She
you go to
wouldn't be out-
clubs?
you still wouldn't be out there like that, right, Erica? You wouldn't be out there like that because you looking for a partner. You looking for. Most women are looking for a partner.
HQ, you need to go outside. I go out.
Oh, you said they ain't looking for a partner? What?
HQ, I go out 3 times a week at least. HQ, women are going out and giving men head behind dumpsters. HQ. I put that on my brother who passed away. Women are taking men out in the parking lot behind dumpsters and sucking dick.
You think that's the majority of us women?
Yes, I see it at least 2-3 times a day. I was a bellman at the biggest hotel in Vegas for years. Women would come, and as soon as they got to the hotel, I had sex all the time. Sometimes a couple of times a day.
Yeah, but you're not the average everyday man.
I am. I'm 5'8". I mean, I'm in
You
pretty
mean
deep.
nothing. That's still tall. That's tall enough for women.
No. What I'm saying is,
Am I wrong or am I right? And that's tall enough for most women.
For mature women who are looking for something serious, that's not going to matter. And I'm biased. I'm shorter. I'm only 5'3", so 5'8" is
right.
Tall enough. So.
Most of them women are short.
HQ. Right. What I'm telling you is, here in Vegas, women get off the airplane and they take their panties off and they start juicing it up.
What?
I'm sorry.
Las Vegas, you got to take Las Vegas off the table. Las Vegas off the table. Those are rare women that run to Las Vegas. Most women, everyday women, ain't doing that.
Lots of women come to Vegas in groups, the girls trips, on a daily basis. HQ. I'm sorry. 15 years as a bellman in the biggest casino in Vegas. I'm telling you, you can't tell me any different.
But that's what I would expect in Las Vegas. But in New York or Washington, no, I don't think they're doing that. I don't know.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, but her premise was women aren't doing it every day. I've seen it every day for years. Every day for years.
But
I still see it. I'm saying I still see it on a weekly basis. And once again, I told you, I have never interacted with anything but black women. I've never held hands or kissed a Mexican woman or a white woman or any woman of any other nationality. I have only ever dealt with or touched a black woman in my entire life. So what I am talking about is purely Black women. And this is a regular thing. So, I mean, I understand it. Well, I'm gonna jump back down, and I just wanted to tell you that your husband just told you that he didn't give a fuck, and you understood it because when you came back in the house, you had your face all straightened up after spending one day away from your mama. So,
okay,
exactly.
Shut up. I get
Bye-bye.
you. Black America always coming up here trying to humble me. I get it, Black America. I get it. Yes, that's exactly it. I get it. You have some truth to you. You have some truth to it. But that's wild to me. That is wild to me. I mean, I swear to God, when I think I got the right answer, Black America come up here and say something crazy to me, right? Let me read the super chat. Because everybody say I don't read the super chats. I do. I just don't get a lot of them.
You're doing better. You're doing good.
Oh, damn that name. Jariah, aka the Saturn 9 man, $5. Now, if your woman is always overblowing stuff, making mountains out of molehills, her saying that will fall on deaf ears. Don't cry wolf. Right. Project Leroy, thank you for the $5. Greetings. Busy dodging tornadoes, and getting rid of the head cold. Extra garlic to keep them sinner vampires off of me. Great topic tonight. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. And the super chat is open. Please and thank you. We need support for the channel. That'd be great. I prefer super chat. I prefer the whole thing. I hate the Cash App because I'm always afraid somebody might do something with that. And I ain't really sure how to do it because I'm old. So please, super chat if you can. Thank you very much. Erica, one last question, ma'am.
Yes.
If you were tasked, this is a question I have. One question. If you were tasked with fixing relationships, like if you were a genie in a bottle and you had to come up and snap your fingers, what would you say are the two things that women needed to do to fix relationships?
Check the attitude, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And you were put on this earth to support a man. So do what God has created you to do. Support a man. And that means being, unselfish, but support the man. Don't be selfish. Those two things.
Don't be selfish. And when you say, I understand when you say support, you say support the man. I get that. We have to do the support. We have to do that. We have to learn to check the mouth. Mm-hmm. This is how I'm speaking to you all, is how I would speak to my husband, is the way I spoke to my husband. When I got older, when I understood it. When I was younger, I was stop talking. But as I, hit 25, 30, blah, 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 this is the way I talk to him. Never got out of frame. Never screamed. I never called him a name. I never did any of those things. Because I realized early that he was like Black America. Not as extreme as Black America, but along those lines. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I had to tailor myself around that man if I wanted to stay married. So you say, watch our mouth, which I say is our number one, because I know for a fact a man will take a fat woman who is submissive, who is doing the things she wants to do, and she is acquiescing and doing the things she needs to do in that marriage and at home, over a hyena who fusses and fights. Mm-hmm. Before that, don't tell me you ain't gonna take no fat women. I don't want to hear it, because you will if she comes with the right attitude, and you can work with her weight-wise. G Honda, if you can work with her, right?
Yeah, control the controllables, right?
Right. Yes, coachable. There you go, coachable, right? Because you want peace. When that woman bring peace, it don't matter what weight she got, long as she bringing peace to you. It matters to a certain extent. No, Mariah, he said no fat women, but you know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. You want the peace. That mouth is a problem. Let's check it, ladies. Let's do what we can to be a little bit more amiable, to be a little bit more, I'm not saying submissive. Don't get out of pocket, Flora. We ain't talking laying on the ground getting walked on. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we can watch what we say. You might be one of those women that say the ain't shit nigga. I don't ever say that to a man. He ain't no ain't shit nigga. There ain't no way I would say that to a man. But that's just me. Watch our attitude. Be amiable. Try to be cooperative and not combative. I see. So those will be your two things to help fix relationships with women. What would be your two? Final question. What would be your two if you had the genie and you had to give it to men? What would that be?
So the same question, just in the inverse, right? For the men, two things that they can do.
Mm-hmm.
Patience is one. And being a leader. Being a real leader.
Natural KRC said to us, solution-based. He has to be a solution-based man who knows how to lead, who has patience, because you're going to have patience with HQ. HQ going to talk your ass to death. I'm going to talk you to death. I want to hear everything, how you feel, where you're going, what you want. So you're going to have patience with me. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Right? So we talking about patience and we talking about leadership skills. Okay?
Yeah, because women aren't going to follow a parked car, right?
Right. There you go, girl. I like that. Women ain't going to follow no parked car. Thank you. You ain't going to be posted up and expect me to post up with you. We moving. We moving out of here. And Erica was my hostess for today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Love you, HQ. I enjoy coming up when I can. Thank you so much.
I love this. I like this format. We have a lady come up and we had these questions. Thank you, Tyranny. Thank you for the ladies coming up. Thank you, Natural KRC, for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I'll see you later. You're welcome.
All right. Tomorrow we have the hot topic tomorrow, guys. Hot topic tomorrow. We're gonna talk about whatever. I thank you guys for the support. Cash App, no, super chat, all of that. Those are welcome. I appreciate them. Thank you for coming up, Triple X, Black America. You keep it 100 as always. Q, I love your perspective, your gentle soul. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for showing up. Please hit the like button in and out. I appreciate it. Tomorrow we have hot topics, or we'll have a pop the balloon, or we'll have something. But we're going to do something at 6 o'clock. We're going to do something. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. Thank you for supporting the ladies. Thank you, guys.